The Real Lies of Beverly Hills continues. We left off on Erica with her crocodile tears and how she went off on my girl Garcelle. And she went and locked herself in the bathroom. I tried to be honest. Whatever, girl. But let's get into this episode. So Erica's still in the bathroom, but the other ladies are discussing what just happened. And Garcelle, you can hear the crack in her voice. She's very upset that Erica is. Garcelle says if she would have known she would have had that reaction, she would have never asked the question. And then Crystal says, well, she did tell me that she didn't want to talk about it. And I like Crystal, but I think maybe she could have said something to interrupt Garcelle, saying, oh, well, Erica doesn't want to talk about this, or something, you know, to avoid this from happening. So Erica comes out the bathroom, and most of the ladies go over there to comfort her, to hug her, especially Renna and Dorit. Everyone is still trying to figure out the big deal of the revelation that Tom still calls Erica. The mood is awkward now that Erica is back sitting down. Erica says, you know, this is very hard. A very hard time in my life. You know whose else lives are hard? The victims of your husband. Oh my God. I can't curse right now, y'all, but as Erica is crying, we see Renna. She's like, that was effed up. Lisa Renna, you duplicitous wench. Really? Really, that was effed up of what? Of what Garcelle did? Then Garcelle's like, I'm leaving. Like, I cannot believe this. Garcelle did not do anything wrong. Like, she is really handling Erica with kid gloves. It is getting on. It's pissing me off. I can't. Ooh, I wish I could curse. Oh my God. Anyway, Garcelle says she's about to leave. She's had enough of this BS. And then Kathy Hilton, love her to death. Like, she tries to get Garcelle to say, she's like, don't leave. And Kathy Hilton, I definitely felt this scene because she was very genuine when she was talking to Garcelle. So Kathy is successful in getting Garcelle to stay, and Garcelle is still talking with that break in her voice. I'm not used to seeing Garcelle upset, and it's making me upset. And she tells Erica, I did not mean to cause this to you. And now Erica's like, oh, that's okay. It's okay. I want to know, where's Erica's running mascara now? Now she has the waterproof mascara? So Erica then tells the ladies that she's going to be leaving La Quinta and she's going to go back home to handle some things. Ooh, I already seeing this moment was happening. So Erica leaves, and of course, she's escorted out by Kyle, Renna, and Dorit. They go and follow behind her as Garcelle's just sitting there with that look on her face like, ooh. And then Crystal Orson, they ask her, you okay? She's like, no, I'm not. Garcelle definitely clocked who's in her corner right now, because it seems like there's a divide between the newer girls and then the girls that's been around, or the mean girls of Beverly Hills. They really got their girl back. Wow. And of course, I'm going to mention it, Denise. After what they did to Denise, to Vanderpump, to Camille, they all ain't shit, especially Renna. And now the mean girl's telling Erica outside, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry. F out of here. Wait, where is Kathy Hilton in this moment? Did she just go back upstairs? So the mean girls come back into the living room. They're all sitting there sulking. And then Renna is starting again. She asks Garcelle why you felt the need to ask her that in that moment. At that point, I would have got up, took my wine, and threw it in her face. But Garcelle is classy. And instead, she responds that, you know, she thought she was sharing with everyone, and especially that the night before she got there, she said the whole car accident story. Of course, Garcelle is thinking nothing's wrong with this because she already said it on camera, and her friends who know her longer than Garcelle should know this information already, but they didn't. After this conversation, the ladies say they're going to reconvene later in the evening for dinner. Garcelle is waiting on her Uber with Crystal outside, and she feels like there's this inner circle in her group. And she's right, like, because they definitely don't have Garcelle's back. They have Erica's back. Like, I'm wondering, what does Erica have on y'all? I'm glad Garcelle asked the nosy questions. You're on camera. You signed up for this. I'm asking. I want to know. And production shows that 2 hours before, Erica was just talking about the proceedings. So I'm not sure what about Tom calling her made her do a whole mental break. But in more important news, why are they clowning Kathy Hilton for reading off the Ruth Chris menu? I mean, that sounds good. I want some lobster mac and cheese. a baked potato. I mean, I know these bitches don't eat, but I mean, that sounds good to me. So it's later in the evening and some of these women brought new outfits just to hang at home. Okay, so I did talk about in the last episode how people shouldn't be offended that Crystal likes to make the drinks. Now, Lisa Rinna's saying, where's Crystal? I'm gonna have to make my own drink. It sounded a little problematic, Rinna, but I know what you mean. Crystal makes a good drink, but fix your own drink for right now. So let's look at the outfits. So Dorit comes down, of course, in this sheer sparkly number. Looked like she on her way to the Grammys or the MTV VMAs. Kathy Hilton's like, where are you going? Like, you're gonna waste this outfit with just us girls in the house? And I agree. I mean, Sutton looks okay. She has this little blazer suit dress or whatever. I mean, she still got them knocky knees though that make it look all awkward, but I like it up top above the knees. Kathy Hilton, I mean, she just looks like, you know, rich white woman. You know, it's not nothing like she's not dressed to the nines, but she looked like money regardless. Rinna, of course, with another jumpsuit. How many jumpsuits does she have? A classic black jumpsuit and a huge Gucci belt. Garcelle and Crystal come in and I like what Garcelle's wearing. The little red trench coat. It's cute. And I love her hair. It looks really nice. The boots, I'm not too sure, but all in all, it's a cute outfit. And then Crystal is behind her, and Crystal just always looks chic. It's not nothing loud or ostentatious of what Dorit's wearing, but it's always just so like chic and minimal with Crystal. They really dress to the nines just to go right over to the dining room table and unpack some Roof Chris to go. Of course, someone brings up Erica and asks did anybody check on her. Kyle says she was texting her. And then Garcelle says she texted Erica just to see how she was doing. She didn't get a response. And then Kyle's like, well, you know, Erica's not going to be a bitch to you or be mean. She's just not going to trust you. And Garcelle's like, that's fine. In her confessional, she's saying that she's sorry that, you know, Erica was upset, but at the same time, she knows that she was coming from a good place and her intentions were good. So her conscience is clean. And then here come Rinna with her big ass fake fat lips saying, is there anything you can own? Garcelle's like, excuse me? And then we see Lisa Rinna who thinks that Garcelle is very pointed sometimes, and she thinks it's intentional on Garcelle's part. And we go back to production reminding us of how she kind of needled Rinna and was calling her out last season. Garcelle needs to check herself and why she does what she does. Girl, hypocrite. Just such a hypocrite. Okay, pot. Garcelle tells her absolutely not. She says in her confessional that Rinna's being a hypocrite, especially how she treated Denise. And thankfully, production reminds us on that too. Dorit, and here she go tag teaming with Rinna. Like, you don't think, you were kind of needling? Shut up. Don't you have a bankruptcy to worry about? Ooh, they are so up Erica's bush right now. I am not gonna shit on her when she's at her bottom. That's not the type of person I am. Ooh, that hair is flipping, Garcelle. You know, even though I'm Team Garcelle, of course, I love how the ladies are just getting emotion out of her because last season, Garcelle didn't give us this much. Like, Garcelle is doing wonderful in her second season. A lot of housewives can't say that. Leah. So it's more discussion between Rinna and Garcelle says to her, well, maybe I overstepped. And Garcelle says she said that just so she could shut Rinna up. And I might have to start saying this every episode, but Kathy Hilton is a gem. Along with saying Denise, I'm going to say Kathy Hilton is a gem. Like, she is providing the perfect comic relief. So it's funny when Lisa Rinna says, oh, let's play a game. Everyone's talking about, oh Lord, here we go, and how messy games can be. So they're talking about the previous night when Kyle brought up Confucius and how everyone was like, oh my God. When in actuality, Crystal is kind of related to Confucius and saying, oh, that's racist. They're joking, of course. But then Kathy Hilton brings up, oh, well, I remember you two got into it because someone said they don't see color. And Kathy brings up in a little bit of a flex that she knew Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson told her, I don't see color. And she was like, me either. course, you have the ladies of a minority at the table telling them their experience and how that statement just does not apply anymore. I also think this is how a discussion about race should be had on Housewives, unlike New York, where you have one person who doesn't let another person speak. Kyle's face right now, she's silent. She does not want to be involved. Kathy Hilton's just asking questions, but that look on Kyle's face, yeah, she's gonna sit down and eat her food like last season. Dorit has a strange knack of making a conversation about her, even when it's about race. Sutton knows to shut up. She even says in her confessional, I'm not touching that. And girl, yeah, you need to just sit down and eat your food too. Ooh, okay, so we got a cringe moment. And of course it's from Dorit saying that a lot of people that work for us, they're black, dark skin. Everyone at the table is just like, oof. And Garcelle's like, well, okay, are they your staff? They all work for you? And she's like, oh no, my mother's best friend is black. Okay, but what about you, Dorit? And Garcelle don't count. Why I feel like this is gonna come up later. I feel like it's gonna come up later. Speaking of awkward moments, Kyle lets all the ladies know when they get up, can everyone please rinse their dish off before they put their plate away? I mean, when you in Beverly Hills, especially with these women, you gotta have some type of maid service or something like that. Because of course Dorit says, okay, we'll do it, but honey, when we're on vacation, we can all chip in. That really sets Kyle off, as if Kyle can't afford help. She says, honey, I have a housekeeper. They come in the beginning and in the end. They're just not here during this. I mean, I hate to kind of agree with Dorit, but I mean, they're all in some of them are in couture and expensive outfits, and you asking them to wash off their dishes in them. Honestly, I think with Kyle, it wasn't even a thing of cost. She was just being practical. And maybe it was because of COVID guidelines. Kyle is so annoyed with Dorit right now. So some of the ladies go home. Of course you have Erica Sheep saying, oh, it just wasn't the same without Erica. Whatever. And then the topic of conversation is Harry Hamlin's nails. Harry Hamlin has acrylic nails. And apparently it's for him to play his guitar easier. It's not for fashion. Okay. I still have my thoughts on Harry Hamlin, but hey, maybe that's what Kyle's sister Kim was talking about when she said, oh, let's not talk about the husbands. So it's the next morning and we see all the ladies packing, getting ready to leave, and we get a Google alert, and again, it's another day, another article on Erica and Tom, and this time is from the LA Times, and it's an in-depth article on everything, all the tea. They talking about the victims, the orphans, the plane crash victims, cancer patients that they've been swindling from, called what they're doing a Ponzi scheme, and then the $20 million that was funneled into Erica Jane's business. The ladies are gagged, especially the mean girls. And at this moment, we knew why she had that reaction of going off on Garcelle. She knew a heads up that article was coming out. That's what that whole breakdown was about. It was never about Garcelle, never about Tom calling her all the time. What a coincidence she leaves the day before the article drops. Sutton comes down, and of course she read the article. She probably read it 3-4 times. So she's breaking it down and giving the cliff notes to Kyle and Renna. She accepted $20 million in loans from Tom's company. She accepted that money. And she's just she doesn't know where that money came from at all. And she signed it, so she's implicated in this. They're Erica may be fucked in this situation. She's fucked. Meanwhile, we see Garcelle and Crystal talking about it, and Garcelle making sense in her confessional. She's saying there's no way that article came out and she didn't know about it. Why is everybody on this show is afraid to say that Erica lied? Thank God Crystal and Garcelle is leaving that ugly hotel. So now all the women put 2 and 2 together and realize that was the reason that Erica probably left La Quinta. The mean girls, Kyle, Renna, and Dorit, they just acting real funny when they're around Erica. Oh yeah, we believe you, you didn't do this. But in their confessionals, they keep implying that something just ain't right with Erica doing. Why don't they keep that same energy when Erica's around? But Lisa Renna is definitely defending her friend. And it's crazy because she didn't know Erica as long as Denise. But wow, like she has really like pledged allegiance to Erica Jane. Sutton is the only one making sense right now. I just wish she'd just say that she doesn't believe Erica and Erica's lying. Oh, production ain't shit. So then they're talking about how the article is saying that they've been trying to keep up this lavish lifestyle by doing this Ponzi scheme. Then production gives us a whole clip show of Erica bragging about her wealth. Kathy Hilton with another funny moment. Like as they're saying like, do we really know the real Erica? And Dorit's like, you know, I've known her 6 years, you've known her 5 years, you've known her 5 years. Kathy's like, I don't know her. So everybody's back in Beverly Hills and they're still gagged from the Erica drama. It seems like they want to believe Erica, but they're all conflicted now on what to believe. And at this point, since there's victims involved and the story's just getting bigger and bigger, it seems like all the ladies are wondering like, okay, we're all going to be sucked into this now. This is bigger than just Radar Online or Shade Room or whatever Bravo blog. I feel now the mean girls are looking at this like, okay, well, what about our image now? What does it say about us if we're going to stand behind someone who did a crime and has victims? Ooh, and now Sutton calls a meeting to all the ladies except for Erica to talk about this situation. So next scene, we're at Dorit's house, and this is where all the ladies are going to meet to see what Sutton has to say. These ladies are always dressed to the nine. Like, this was just like a kiki hangout, and wow. And Kyle in these yellow pants, I don't know what to think about it. I mean, they look nice, but it's real flashy. So most of the ladies are arriving, and ooh, some more tea comes out. And I remember when this dropped. So Erica Jane released on her Instagram all these like pictures and messages from Tom's alleged mistress from this flip phone from like 2002. And of course we all know that it is a distraction from that LA Times article. And I'm just thinking at that point, Erica, you ain't fooling nobody. But again, with these pictures, it's some more contradictions because the ladies asked her questions, and that means she been had those pictures in her phone. So why didn't she tell the other ladies about it? She either lying or she just keeping more secrets, and it's just not making her look good at all. Oh, and that just reminded me, did y'all know on Reddit, if you Google Reddit, Erica Jane contradictions, they have an entire list of contradictions that Erica has said since the beginning of this new season. I think they're at number 28 or 30, I can't remember, but it is a good read, y'all. Like, I fell down a rabbit hole of just reading all these contradictions. I mean, shout out to the Bravo detectives. Y'all got the real time on your hands and I appreciate it. So Sutton arrives last, and when she gets situated, she lets all the ladies know that she has her reservations on what Erica has told the group, and that Erica has put them all in a bad position. It's so crazy that everybody in this group is afraid to call Erica a liar or even say, I don't believe her. But Sutton is just, she's choosing her words very carefully. She's just saying, I have questions. And I love the way she put this. She said, I'm not sure how much I want to be around my friend during this time. Meaning that I don't want to be around this bitch because she could implicate me. They could call me to the stand and put me in this case. Like, a lot of people don't want to be involved. And I think that's why they having this conversation. And when Sutton says this, that's when we get the to be continued. Again, I wish Bravo stopped doing that. And that's where the episode ends. I feel like this dinner in the next episode, I feel like Lisa's gonna throw Sutton under the bus and be like, she called you a liar. Like, all these other women are afraid to say what Sutton is saying. And I respect her in this moment. In this moment, at least. And also, Watch What Happens Live came on, and it's just so obvious that Andy and Bravo is protecting Erica. Like, every poll that Erica has, whether she's lying or if she's telling the truth, Andy definitely downplays the polls. Or on last night's episode, he completely disregarded the poll altogether. Are they really protecting this chick? Like, wow. Like, I hope they give Jen Shah the same grace. I gotta say, I love Andy Cohen. I'll speak to him if I see him out in New York. I love the content he provides, but that is one sissy you can't trust. And with that said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode, as well as the Encore season finale review. Bye.